Good morning and welcome, Essex County College family. This is the Virtual Cafe presented by Student Life and Activities. We hope you and your family are doing well. This is episode 31, Discover Essex County. There's a lot of great things that you can do in Essex County. Today we're going to be highlighting the one and only Turtleback Zoo. It's located in West Orange, and it is the home to a very diverse group of animals and folks that take care of them. So let's drop in on the Turtleback Zoo and see all the awesome animals they have to offer us.
Hi everyone, my name is Shay and I am an educator here at the Essex County Turtleback Zoo. Since the zoo is currently closed as we all stay safe, we are pleased to present our new series, Let's Take a Walk with Us, as we explore a new location in each episode. So, where are we going to go? You found me! Okay, so maybe I'm not the best at hiding, but today we're heading to meet the prairie dogs, which are masters at living most of their lives underground and out of sight from predators. Okay, let's go! Here at the Essex County Turtleback Zoo, we have black-tailed prairie dogs. These keystone species are native to North America. They are rodents just like squirrels and chipmunks. Their predators include animals like snakes, hogs, foxes, badgers, and even occasionally owls. Aside from predators, wild populations of prairie dogs face many challenges, including human intolerance, disease, climate change, and habitat loss. There are many conservation efforts in place to help the wild populations of prairie dogs because these species are so vital and important to the environment. They help aerate and fertilize the soil, which allows for plant diversity. Now we're going to meet our prairie dog keeper, and she's going to share with us more fun facts about the prairie dogs.
Hi, I'm Bonnie. I am the prairie dog keeper here at Turtleback Zoo. They are one of my favorite animals. They are so fun to watch. They burrow in their holes and they have their own little families just like we do. Just like COVID-19, these guys are not going over to the other side to talk to those guys. So they kind of keep each other separate, which is a great thing right now. If you could see now, they look a little rough around the edges. That's just their winter coats, and they're going to shed that off and get a beautiful new coat. And around that time is just when the babies are going to be popping out of the holes.
What do you have there?
Oh, right now this is a PM feed. It actually is a dog food. It's a supplement for them. They absolutely love it. I usually have to fly the birds away to keep them out of it because the birds love it too. But this is one of their favorite little treats that they come and get. It's very high in protein for them. And you can see over there their food that they get every day is a rodent nugget. It's specially formulated for prairie dogs.
So would you say one of the challenges are the birds that like to...
There's a couple of challenges. The birds are by far one of my number one. The other is growing grass. It was very difficult to grow grass in this exhibit. They eat grass, they love it, they make their nests in it, they eat it, they store it, they do everything with grass. So that's one challenge that has been funny around here is trying to grow grass.
So here we are on the other side of the exhibit to meet more of our prairie dogs.
They kind of alert each other, which is a great thing. They are townspeople. They do live in their own little areas, and each area has its own bathroom, its own bedroom, a living room.
It's just like us.
Just like us, but it's all underground. So when I hear them in another part of the zoo and they're really chirping and barking loud, I usually look up and there's a hawk flying above. So they tell the rest of them, look out, there's a hawk flying, because hawks will come down and catch a prairie dog. That's what they do. They are a rodent, and that's what hawks do.
Do you mind if I throw some food in?
Go right ahead.
Thank you. One of the great things that our exhibit offers is a chance for you to see what it's like to be a prairie dog. So I'm going to go inside the tunnels myself. Did you know that the Essex farm features heritage breeds, meaning that these animals were selectively bred for their specific geographical regions or farm requirements, such as tolerance to cold weather, high production of milk or eggs, and smaller size. Here to tell us more information about the animals here at the farm is their amazing keeper, Jen.
Here at the farm, we take care of a variety of different animals, most of them which are heritage breed animals. We have goats, we have alpaca, we have chickens, and we have cooney pigs. We also have a Dexter cow, Jacob sheep, and ponies. These are our chickens. We have 11 of them. This is a Polish crested. She has, as you can see, a beautiful hairdo. They lay a lot of eggs during the day. They have white and brown ones. Their production is really well. They lay about each an egg a day. You can see the ones that are down there also have a comb and a wattle. Those are female chickens. They are not roosters. Their diet consists of vegetables and fruit and a grain that they get.
Can they fly?
Yes, chickens can fly. They can fly pretty well. That's why we have this netting over their exhibit so they can't get out. This is Luna. She's actually a cooney. She's one of the smallest breeds of pigs. Her favorite thing to do is take naps. She'd sleep all day if you let her, and then eat. And another really cool feature about Luna, she smells like pancakes. These are Jacob sheep. We have 4 of them, 3 females and 1 male. If you notice, these all have 4 horns. They can actually have anywhere from 2 to 6 horns with this breed. We shear them once a year, usually around Memorial Day. All 3 of our females are pregnant right now, and they're going to be moms in a couple weeks, so we're really excited to have babies soon.
The goats here at the Essex farm come in many different shapes, sizes, and colors. We have dwarf goats, Nubian goats, and you may have noticed one of our goats didn't have any ear flaps. That is our La Mancha goat, and her name is Princess Duck. That is just a feature very popular to the breed. I noticed they have a lot of interesting items in here.
This is their enrichment for the day. It keeps them mentally and physically stimulated.
Aside from food enrichment, behavioral enrichment, environmental enrichment, there's other types of enrichment called sensory enrichment. One example of sensory enrichment for the goats is painting. Right now we're going to take our goats inside and do some goat painting. Today we're walking to Big Cat Country to visit our cougars. Cougars, also known as the puma, mountain lion, or panther, can live to around 15 years in the wild. While they used to be found across most of North and South America, cougars now live on the west coast of the United States and through parts of Central and South America. They're able to adapt to a variety of habitats throughout their range, but populations are declining due to habitat loss and fragmentation and persecution. Cougars are the largest of the lesser cats, 4th largest of all cats, and can both purr and meow, but not roar. We're heading to meet one of our carnivore keepers. These keepers care for all the mammals in the order Carnivora that live at the zoo. I'd like to introduce carnivore keeper Brianna Albert.
Hi everybody. We have 3 cougar kittens. They're about a year and a half old. We have 1 male and 2 females. They're actually all siblings. Our male's name is Wyatt, and our 2 females are Jane and Josie.
How do you tell them apart since they're siblings?
Our male is very broad, and he has a lighter colored chest and a lighter face. He's very talkative, and he loves to speak to us. Jane is a little bit more sassy than the other 2. She's very tiny. She has a very tiny head, and she's the shortest one. And Josie is a little bit more laid back, and she'll kind of just be the one that's chilling. She's kind of in between the 2, and she's a little bit darker than the other 2. We also have an adult cougar, Sage.
What challenges do you have in caring for a younger cougar versus an older cougar?
So a lot of it has to do with how we cater to their needs. So our younger cougars are going to be more agile and adventurous than our older cougar Sage. So a lot of times it will even be as simple as our enrichment. So for our cougar kittens, we may have some food on exhibit for them, and we might put the food in the top of the trees or on top of the rockwork. But for Sage, even though she has really great mobility and she can still climb really well, we wouldn't necessarily put everything as high for her. So we might put it a little bit lower, maybe in the middle of the trees or halfway up the rock work, and kind of making it a little bit easier and safer for her to interact with things. We really try to do our enrichment based on what behaviors cats will normally exhibit. Since cats always use their sense of smell, we always try to incorporate sensory enrichment into their daily routine. So every day our cats get a new scent that they get to smell. Because cats are really smart, they do need a lot of enrichment, and we do a lot of puzzle solving and things like that. The enrichment is really based on their behaviors and what they do. So because they're more mobile, they climb more, and they're stronger species, we would want their enrichment to cater to those specific physical characteristics. One thing kind of funny that we found to be a theme with our cougars, both Sage and our cougar kittens, is they all love small PVC. Small PVC pieces like you can see out right now, and especially small PVC elbows. We don't know what it is about them, but all of our cougars love to throw them around and toss them everywhere. But you can see a lot of behaviors they display in your cats at home. So if you're playing with your cats at home, you might notice that they'll stalk you or the toy you're playing with, and these guys will do the same thing to each other, as well as sometimes with us.
Today, we'll be walking to the flamingo exhibit to meet our fabulous flamboyance of flamingos. We'll be catching up with Sean Vargo, one of the bird keepers at Turtleback Zoo, and she'll share with us some fun facts and stories about our mixed flock. Before we meet with Sean, let's brush up on our flamingo info. In total, there are 6 species of flamingo, 2 from Africa, Europe, and Asia, and 4 found in the Americas. The smallest flamingo species is about 2.5 feet tall. The biggest averages around 5 feet tall, which is about my height. These filter-feeding birds get their pink hue from the carotenoid pigment found in the food they eat. These are the same pigments that color our fall foliage, pumpkins, and carrots. Flamingo species vary in the intensity of pink, with the Caribbean flamingo being the most intensely colored of all. Some flamingo species are more endangered than others, but threats to flamingos include habitat loss and pollution, poaching, and changes to the environment due to climate change. Chilean flamingos, like the ones we have at TVZ, are expected to experience a fairly rapid decline over the next 3 generations due to egg harvesting, hunting, tourism-related disturbance, and habitat degradation. Habitat restoration projects and reducing nest disturbance are 2 ways that help protect the population of these fabulous pink birds. I'd like to introduce bird keeper Sean V.
That's me. Here at the zoo, we have 2 different flamingo species. We've got our Caribbean flamingos and our Chilean flamingos. And you can tell those guys apart pretty easily. Our Caribbean flamingos, they're the brighter red color. They're a little bit taller on average. And our Chilean flamingos are a little bit paler, a little bit shorter, and they look a little bit fluffier.
Can you tell the males from the females?
So with flamingos, you actually can't. These guys, when you look at them, they look very similar. Typically, males will be a little bit larger on average. Typically, females will be a little bit shorter. But there's a little bit of overlap right there in the middle. We look at their DNA and find out if they're male or female that way. Flamingos out in the wilds, they spend most of their days sort of grazing, looking for different food items. They eat a couple of different things. They'll eat little crustaceans, things like shrimp that they find out in the water. They'll also eat algae and other little plant matter like that. And so what we do here to kind of help replicate that is we have a specially formulated flamingo food. And we've got 2 different sizes there, and 1 floats and 1 sinks. And then we give them, like I said, their favorite food item, which is krill. So these are little shrimp, and you can see that they've got that really nice bright pink color. And so those shrimp, kind of like the flamingos, aren't born pink. They actually get that color accumulated in their bodies as they eat the algae.
Birds always have such interesting behaviors. What unique behaviors do you see in the flamingos?
So flamingos have a couple of really interesting behaviors. One is their kind of primary feeding behavior. One of the things that these guys will do is kind of their iconic dancing, which is where they'll shuffle their feet, and a lot of times they'll kind of spin in a circle while they're doing it. And actually what they're doing is they're drumming up sediments, mud on the bottom of the water where they're standing. And then what they'll do is they'll put their heads down and they'll filter through all of that, looking for little food items, either algae like we talked about or little crustaceans. Another really cool behavior that these guys have, the one that everybody thinks about when they think about flamingos, of course, that they stand on 1 leg. And they've got a couple of different reasons for that. One is for conserving body heat. If you think about it, those feathers, it's kind of like a nice down coat that you'd wear in the winter. And so if you pull that leg up into those feathers, you're not going to lose any heat. So if it's a really cold day, that's what they'll do. They'll pull up that leg, and then they might switch to the other one. The other thing, too, is if you think about it, we usually don't stand with weight evenly on both legs. We usually kind of lean to one side or the other. And so these guys kind of take it a step further and pull that leg up. And that's just sort of a nice little relaxed position for them.
See how long I can stand on one leg.
And the thing too is when you look at them when they're pulling that leg up, it kind of looks like they've got backwards knees. But it's actually not a knee. Their knee is actually up in their feathers. And when you watch them move, you can see that that's kind of where that movement originates from. What we think is a backwards knee is actually their ankle. So if you stand up on your tiptoes, that's how the flamingos are standing right now. And then what looks like the lower half of their leg is actually like our foot. And then their toes are just toes. That part didn't change.
Keeper Sean told us how to tell the difference between our two flamingo species. Can you count how many Caribbean and Chilean flamingos we have? How many flamingos are in the TBZ flock?
We've got 44 flamingos here at the zoo. We've got 25 Caribbeans and 19 Chileans.
All right. That was the virtual tour of the Turtleback Zoo in West Orange. We got to see a lot of awesome and cute animals that they have at the zoo. And you know they have a ton more when you go in person and actually get to experience all the exhibits firsthand. We hope that you and your family or you and a friend get to do this in the coming weeks as we transition back into actually going out and doing some stuff, but staying safe while we're doing so with masks and social distancing. So we hope that you and your family are staying safe during this time, whether you're just going out to the food store or you're going to the Turtleback Zoo. But try to get out there and discover Essex County when you can. It's a beautiful county, a lot of stuff to do. Until then, we hope you and your family stay safe, stay cool, and we'll see you later. Take care.